Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It's now June the 24th and we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. It's about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So what has Bitcoin been doing so far? Gained a little bit of traction, I do have to admit, okay? It ended up bouncing off of the $10,500, $10,600 region where we're finding some tremendous support over here thus far, okay? Have you guys noticed that every time we're reaching these regions, the bulls are heavily defending it? So every time there's a bear attack is what I would call it, we always see how the bulls are going to react to this situation. And a lot of coins are correlating to Bitcoin positively, and some coins are not. For example, Litecoin is one of the coins that's not really correlating positively to Bitcoin because of the halving that's expected to take place sometime in, I think, August, right? So we're always going to start off with the monthly to see how it's looking. And of course, the monthly is a huge bull run right now. And I'm really hoping to break above the 11,600 region. And then that to me would signal that, hey, the 0.5 Fibonacci region is actually not really any type of significant resistance whatsoever. So if we take a look at right here where these two wicks are forming, or have formed already rather, check this out right there, right? Those two wicks right there, it also coincides with the 0.5 Fibonacci region. So if we break above here, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, although I do not think that this is going to happen on the first attempt. I don't think that we're even going to reach the 618 Fibonacci level until we get a small retracement. But what I can say is that I think that the beginning, I'm certain that the beginning of July will be a fairly bearish month with correction. But the later half of July and August will be very bullish. Why do I say that? I say that because of this right here. Because this histogram is already peaking up to the positive side, and we are getting a crossover already to the positive side for the histogram. So the next thing that I always do as well, I take a look at the RSI and I say, okay, the RSI is obviously gaining a lot of strength as well. And we're more so that we always try to figure out what the trend is, okay? Once we figure out what the trend is, we can easily deduce, right, how generally speaking the rest of the week or the month will actually go. So in my opinion, having a really good month so far. The week right now is actually stair-stepping very positively as well. And we're only one day into the week. But what we can say is that, hey, we're actually possibly going to reach some higher highs. I thought that we were going to downtrend, to be quite honest, after stair-stepping down like that violently the past 3 weeks. But other than that, it's looking just great all across the board. If you look at the weekly RSI as well, right, what we need to count on this week is perhaps maintaining this RSI in the very bullish region. So take a look at the bullish regions when we go to 2008, okay? Or sorry, 2017. 2017's RSI, we didn't really fall below these regions. So I'm going to use this as a very hard support, okay? Now, if we fell into this region, I'd be very happy still that we could maintain the bull run. But if we're taking a look at a massive bull run, we're talking about making sure that we bounce well above 63 RSI. But before, in the early 2017 days, we're talking about 54 RSI or so, okay? So that to me is a very bullish sign. And we don't need to stay in the 70-80 regions, don't get me wrong. But we need to bounce off of the 53 region or the 64 region. And that's very significant to me. Let's take a look at the 3-day and see how this is trending. All right, there's no signs of this slowing down quite yet, okay? So the 3-day is actually over on the 27th. So today marks the first day of the 3-day candle. So on the 2-day, it ends up finishing tomorrow. So on the 26th is when the 2-day finishes. But as it stands right now on the 2-day, we're getting a really ugly doji candle. And I've been talking about a correction for a while now that's been needing it. For example, if you take a look at any of these candles where you get a doji, look at this one right there. This is a doji candle. We ended up downtrending quite significantly. Here we ended up getting something like a shooting star candle, you can say. And that it's kind of like the opposite of a hammer, but upside down and red. And if we look at the daily right now thus far, pretty ugly combinations, okay, thus far as well. Yes, we're finding support at the 10,500 and up region, But yes, at the same time, we're also getting bear attacks to these regions. And every time we get to some high, such as, let me just show you a little bit more closer up. Okay, every time we're getting close to any regions above 11K, we're getting shot back down by the bears. On the 12 hours so far, we're getting diminishing volume consistently. Diminished as well. So I think that the moving average for the volume will be slowly dropping as well. Here we ended up getting a bear spinning top, followed by some sort of shooting star, a smaller shooting star with like a doji that's just hanging here, or a hanging man with a very small candle, small body. I think that the major resistance is obviously established already right now, and we can understand that. On the 12-hour chart, we're slowly seeing sidestepping down, or just stepping down in general. And not only is it stepping down, but stepping down parabolically, if you noticed it, okay? It's stepping down parabolically like this. Okay? And then if you take a look at the 6-hour as well right now, like for all we know, we could just break out of here completely. So don't get me wrong, okay? But what I do not like about this is that we are getting a series of lower lows and lower highs on the histogram. Lower low, right? Every time lower low, even lower low, lower high, and lower high as well. So that scares me. But the most significant thing that scares me is probably some sort of, actually, no. I'm looking at Litecoin. Sorry, I'm thinking of Litecoin, not a Bitcoin right here. So if we end up, look at the volume as well in the 6-hour, okay? Look at the volume. It's really diminishing right now. So for example, if we keep looking on the 6-hour, what we're seeing very clearly is that the 8 moving average, which is this guy right here, I should probably make that more green. Actually, that's fine. The 8 and the 13 moving average, they're the ones that are acting as a support thus far from where we were trending. So I'm going to see if we're going to hit this $10,600 region again. If we do hit it and we don't hold, well, we're probably going to drop to 10,300. Where I'm finding major support right now, okay, is above 9,500, like I mentioned in the previous video. 9,500 is a very significant point to me because that's where the interim low was, okay, right around there. But of course, psychologically, we didn't even have any resistance leading up to the 11K regions. But psychologically, usually 10K will act as some sort of resistance or support. And what we're going to see most likely is if we are going to test 9,500, there's no doubt in my mind that we're most likely going to test, first of all, the 10K regions. Just on a quick side note, guys, I used a service called localcoin.ca just to test them, to see what kind of response I would get from customer service as well. And also they were expecting 6 confirmations. They were expecting literally 6 confirmations in 30 minutes. I don't think they understand how Bitcoin works. I'm not joking. You guys don't believe me? If you guys want to actually get a Bitcoin, I was trying to get their Visa card because I want to have new ways to liquidate Bitcoin to fiat. And the Visa card is actually really cheap on their end. Overall, said and done, the fee is about 4%, right? That includes a usage of the card. So I applied for one of their virtual cards, and they wanted me to send Bitcoin and have them receive it in literally 6 confirmations in 30 minutes. That's not going to happen. It's not possible to have 6 confirmations in 30 minutes. Anybody who knows Bitcoin knows that. They need to change their shit, in my opinion, okay? They should make it 1 confirmation, and that's more than enough, and that's what even Bitcoin machines do as well right now. So I had to call customer service today, and instead of getting the virtual card in 1 hour like their website says, it's now going to take up to 48 hours to 72 hours. So if I had to recommend a service, or if I had to review localcoin.ca, 2 thumbs down, guys. 2 thumbs down. So on my Litecoin position as well, doing really, really good today. Too big of a position to be sharing with the public, but you guys can easily do the math. That was my call from shorting LTC yesterday. So anyways, let's just keep going right here, okay? And just keep running down. We're just going to keep running down the time frames to see who's doing what, okay? And also, if you take a look at, for example, the 8-hour chart, we're trending pretty high, like 80 RSI or so. But we're maybe we'll have a chance to recover here, right? But I just got this gut feeling we're gonna test like 10K. We're gonna test 10.5K first. That's the hard support, okay, guys. and then we're gonna most likely test 10K, and if that doesn't hold, that's the 9,500 region for the interim swing low there. And why do I say this? Because you guys gotta take a look at this right here. This is the 6-hour chart. 6-hour chart, every time you see this right here, it's never a good sign. Not only that, the way that I am seeing this as well is like this. Okay, you can deduce it in so many different ways. 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the first crossover never happens, right? First wave going upwards, second wave, third wave, right? First wave, then second wave down, third wave up, fourth wave down, fifth wave up. Does it coincide anywhere right here? If we take a look at the final one, absolutely it does. This could be 1, that could be 2, and that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a really crappy fifth right there. Fourth down, and we obviously have a fifth somewhere in here as well. So if that were the 5 Elliott waves, right, then it must mean that we're done something, right? It must mean that we're done something right now, and I don't know exactly how to deduce these specific waves over here. It could be so many ways if I take a look at it for the long run, right? That could be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, and that could be 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be a huge extended even, right? But either way, this is how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing this as possibly 3. I know it might not be proportional. I'll give you guys a really detailed Elliott wave count within 48 hours. I just got a lot of planning to do, okay? So if you look at the 12 hour as well, like I've been saying, right? Like if that was the third wave somewhere even up here, right? And that could even be a B going upwards, right? That could be an A, B, and that could be a C right there as well. Well, if this was the peak, right? We're getting a really low histogram peak here as well. It's not getting nearly as high as we want. This histogram crossover right there is of concern, major concern, because we are stair stepping down very hard right now. Not only that, we look like we're about to cross over and enter the negative territory instead of the positive territory. And these candles right here, guys, is what we call a tweezer pair combination, right? A tweezer pair combination is a deadly combination that's incredibly bearish, but it doesn't always mean it's going to come down. What it means is it's starting to show that the bulls have lost control and that the bears are slightly taking over. But it doesn't mean that they have lost full control. So if you go down the 5 hour chart, what you're already seeing is the histogram reaching to the negative side, right? So now we're seeing slow volume just wane off right now. On the 4 hour chart, we're definitely neutral right now, but I would say more so leaning towards the bearish side than anything because of just the way this is. I always wait to see right here. Okay, this is kind of my favorite thing to see. I wait to see a curvature on this line right there. Okay, and then the bulls can sometimes recover, and then the blue line goes back up. But because of this little curve, right, where it goes like that, and then it just ends up dropping the opposite way, right? It kind of goes like that, and then the angle changes where it gets steeper. Because I see that. To me, it is a bear sign. Now, I'm not just leaning towards bears all the time, guys. What I am leaning towards is, first of all, protecting my baby whales and protecting myself to ensure that I do not go into a long position in a time like this, okay? So let's take a look at the bullish side, though, right? I know you guys are all wondering, well, if the bulls do end up breaking out of here, where's the resistance, okay? Let's go to a time frame. Like, that's very relevant right now. Let's go to, for example, a 3 hour chart. That's pretty standard in my opinion, right? A 3 hour chart, let's take it right there. This to me would be the resistance right around this particular high right here of whatever it is. This high right there, where is it? Oh, I don't have it on here. I forgot I disabled it. So we're talking about the $11,130-ish range, or I would just say 11150. 11,150 is going, excuse me, my jaw there hurt for a sec, is going to act as a resistance. So if we break out of there, right, 11,150, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the Fibonacci right here, okay, Fibonacci retracement range of the whole structure, which was, no doubt, 11,500, 11,600 ranges, okay? So we're going to challenge that high first of all, okay? That particular high that we have right now is roughly 11,336, 11,375, around there. We break out of there, I would guarantee with my life that we're going to find some sort of resistance, first of all, right at the 0.5 Fibonacci level. And then if that ends up just completely breaking out of there, guys, the next Fibonacci retracement range where we will most likely find resistance will be at the golden ratio, right? So we're going to play it one structure at a time. But you also have to keep in mind this particular high right there. Okay, that's exactly at the 0.5 level. But if, guys, if that does not even offer any resistance whatsoever, okay, in my opinion, for me to be adding long, if I were to go into a scalping day trading position, I'd probably, as soon as we break $11,150, I would most likely, personally myself, add like 10% of my position there, okay? And that's it, just literally 10%. Let's say I'm playing 10 grand. I'll add $1,000, okay? That's it. Why? Because I expect resistance at 11,500, 11,600 range. And if that just proves that the volume is picking up on low time frames, we're talking like 15-minute time frames, 5-minute time frames. If the volume ends up picking up significantly there, then I will be definitely adding maybe up to 25% to have 25% of my total position, okay? But then as soon as we blast through that Fibonacci range of 11,500, 11,600, if there's no resistance whatsoever there, I'm just going to add, bam, market execute 75, the rest of the 75% of my position, and then I will gladly shoot for $13,500, 13,500, which is going to be the 0.618 Fibonacci level. But guys, if for some reason we don't break above it, right? I'm trying to offer both bullish and bearish views, and we got to make sure that we can cover our butts. We got to make sure that we're planning for every possible scenario. We got to look left, we got to good look right. We got to have a really good exit strategy as well. So if that does not hold true, what I'll be doing is taking, you know, adding only 10% of my position is not much, right? But I will gladly end up reversing it and going with the trend instead. So there you guys have it. I just wanted to give you guys a quick bullish and bearish view. And I do believe still, guys, that this year we're going to hit $20,000 without a doubt in my mind. And when do I think it's going to hit it? November or December, like we do every year, where historically we have some amazing bull runs those months. So have yourselves a great day. Thank you very much for tuning in, and don't forget, guys, if you're still interested in this by crypto, and it's just as a courtesy to bring it out, okay, I'm still gonna be doing my courses right here, where take a look at the courses. It's gonna be $240 in crypto for all three. That's right, for all three instead of 400, or 140 bucks $130 in crypto for course 1 and 3, or 2 and 3, right? So get in touch with me if you guys need help with these courses. I really mean it. If you guys can't afford it but you're wanting it, let me know right away. In the past, I'd say 3 months, I've given away a few thousand of these courses because I just want people to succeed. But at the same time, I'm also gonna promote them in some way as well, right? So if you guys are looking for a discount on it, try to get a hold of me right away, and I'll see what I can do for you. We'll work something out. So have yourselves a great day, and thank you very much for watching these videos. Bye now.